spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by the makers of Vicks Sinex Spray. Noses prefer Vicks Sinex. By Sears, home of the steel-belted radio that ran the route of the Pony Express. Sears Road Handler. And by Rolaids. For acid indigestion, Rolaids. Rolaids spells relief. Consumes 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid.
Reporting on a world record attempt, I'm Al Beback.
And I'm just kidding. Let's get out to South Haven, Michigan and the Black River to see the action.
What the heck happened to this guy?
That's 60-year-old Kirk Wiley. But let's start at the beginning. As Kirk relays the story, there's a legend of Bill Denny and his friends putting a case of beer in a little boat and crossing Lake Michigan. Sounds cool, so Kirk went out to Vanderzee Motorplex and bought a jet ski, then drove that thing to Chicago and back, 5.5 hours, solo. So asking himself, what's next, this guy conjures up something called the Big Blue Loop.
This old man has got a new challenge. I'm going to drive that jet ski around Lake Michigan. I'm going to try to do it in 3 days and establish some kind of a speed record, old man speed record.
He's crazy.
That's right, Al. So he needed to tie the trip to a cause, helping the missionaries of St. Francis de Sales and Letitia, Zambia, drilling a well, building a solar power system, and giving that community time to grow instead of just survive.
Thanks, Jess. So let's see how this thing turns out.
And smooth. The Black River was flat and Lake Michigan was gentle with 6-inch swells. Perfect. And there was a beautiful sunrise over his shoulder. The first fuel stop was in Whitehall, 2 hours in.
Refueling delay was 50 minutes.
Back on the lake, past the White River Light Station, Little Sable Point, and Michigan's endless string of lighthouses. Off-roaders at Silver Lake Sand Dunes waved from shore. People here really do know how to play.
Looks like another refueling stop, this time in Arcadia, Michigan, and another 50-minute delay. Then north towards Point Betsy. Experienced boaters warn that this stretch can be tricky, and they're right. Waves came from 2 directions at once.
Next up, the Sleeping Bear Dune and the Ojibwa legend of a mother bear and her cubs fleeing a Wisconsin fire across Lake Michigan. The cubs drowned, and the Great Spirit turned them into the Manitou Islands, and the mother bear became the dune itself.
Kirk has a great memory of taking his 4-year-old son camping on North Manitou Island.
Crossing Grand Traverse Bay, the lake was flat and flawless.
Time to buy some more gas, Jess. And Jennifer saved the day by getting there and make sure they stayed open until Kirk arrived.
The lake changed, and he found 2-foot swells as he crossed Little Traverse Bay.
And that only got harder as he crossed Gray's Reef. Shallow reefs with hidden shoals felt like threading a needle blindfolded. And then the wind roared, 3-foot waves in the Straits of Mackinac, spray in his eyes, and the Mackinac Bridge rising like a reward and a dare.
Exhausted and beginning to feel doubt over the last 30 miles, Kirk leaned on prayer and gratitude to pull himself through mentally. Then at the dock, Jennifer, waiting for him with food, supplies, and cheer.
Jet skis must be off the water by sunset, and Kirk got off at the Mackinac City Marina just minutes before the sun finished setting. A quick shower and then off to a classic restaurant called the Hook Lakeside Grill for a much-needed meal. Kirk splurged on a Super 8 hotel.
My goodness, he's cheap. 300 miles behind us, day 2 started off with bright sunshine, blue skies, trailing wind and swells, and a new level of confidence. Passing under one of Michigan's gems, the Mackinac Bridge, was amazing. West of the bridge, in the Mackinac Straits, the water was filled with both pleasure craft and commercial freighters, some of which can be over 1,000 feet long. I imagine that would be intimidating, except I noticed Kirk was the fastest boat on the water for all 3 days.
As Kirk crossed the north end of Lake Michigan, a companion joined him. A lone seagull joined him for nearly a mile, matching him in speed and grace. Maybe this bird was curious. Maybe it was a gift from God.
That's amazing, Al. It reminds me of the book Jonathan Livingston Seagull. The takeaways from that book: refuse to be content with scraps and safety. Have joy in practice and precision. And individual purpose matters.
An unexpected sight in the middle of Lake Michigan. That's the Lansing Shoal Light, about 3 stories tall.
A dark band appeared on the horizon, and as Kirk continued west, it seemed to grow in height. Even though it was a mirage, Kirk started to think that maybe he was losing his mind.
Time to refuel again, this time in Manistee. Off-season means no attendance in small-town chaos.
Ever resourceful, Kirk and Jennifer used the 90-minute delay to enjoy a nice Upper Peninsula pasty.
Kirk and Jennifer appear to be on Team Gravy. They wouldn't dare to put ketchup on those things.
And this is a good time to check in with Kirk. Kirk, tell us how it's going.
Oh, it's tough going, Jess. When I left Manistee, I knew I needed to stay offshore, but the wind conditions were pushing me back towards the west as I crossed the opening to Green Bay and across many islands. The shoreline here is super rocky, and all of a sudden I found myself passing between a rock outcropping 300 yards offshore and the rocky shoreline. And as you'll notice here on the video, the watercolor is changing from blue to green and even to yellow. What that represents is the water getting shallower and boulders underneath waiting to eat up my jet ski. You can see them here. I was tired, alone, and afraid. I hit 3 times. As soon as I could find my way out of that boulder field, I turned that boat to the east and forced my way offshore to safer conditions. I was pretty frustrated with myself because I knew better, but all of a sudden I found myself here. But I guess that's part of the experience.
Time to refuel and spend more money on gas. Bailey's Harbor, great staff, friendly, provided a warning about rough seas ahead, and boy, were they right.
40 miles of pounding swells. And then, silence. The lake went glassy. But peace turned eerie as fog rolled in like a curtain. Tell us what you're seeing, Kirk.
I'm torn. Flat water says go fast. The fog conditions, and unsure exactly how far I can see, says slow down and be cautious. So what did I do? I probably went too fast.
Jen worked her magic again, kept the next fuel dock open after hours, and even arranged for an overnight slip. We called it a night, bought some shin guards for my bruised legs, ate Japanese, and slept like royalty at a Wingate hotel.
Which brings us to our final day, day 3, going from Two Rivers, Wisconsin back to South Haven.
Well, they asked me why I sound like this, with a 6-string growl and a hammer fist twist. Why I talk back when I should behave. Why I show up loud like I'm digging a grave. I say, son, I ain't here for your rules or permission. I was raised up proud on a rebel ignition. 'Cause I was born to raise hell. It's in my bones. Cranking Skinner loud on a rotary phone.
Milwaukee meant another refueling stop at the McKinley Marina. And boy, was that waterfront beautiful. Look at this.
See you at the next stop. 3 miles an hour.
are you there? What are you thinking right now?
As I continued south, I noticed the sunlight was dancing off the chop like fireworks or a light show. Felt a little bit like God was showing off, but it made me reflective, thinking about Zambia and the people we're trying to help, the donors that are giving their resources, and how lucky I am to be involved with this project at all. What an amazing life.
The city skyline in Chicago was visible from a long ways off, and passing through that area meant dodging freighters and weird floating platforms that looked like something out of a Mad Max movie.
South of Chicago means another fuel stop, Hammond, Indiana, Horseshoe Casino Marina, and chaos on land. Jennifer had to fight through Chicago traffic to get there, and then security guards on site to get out to Kirk.
Northern Indiana is famous for its steel mills, and Kirk passed the Cliffs Indiana Harbor Steel Mill just outside of the Horseshoe Casino Marina. We could tell Kirk was struggling physically, but seemed to be at peace during the final stretch. Blue skies, light clouds, modest chop. He was almost home. Passing familiar landmarks, the nuclear power plant, the water tower, the pier, and neighbors waiting and cheering. A real pick-me-up.
Back where we started, in a new record set, 800 miles, 29 and a half hours over 3 days, and a sense of accomplishment. Watch out for those stairs, young man.
I'm burnt. I'm toasted, but not the way the kids get toasted.
Yeah, that's for later.
I am done.
Well played, sir.
A special note about my beautiful wife, Jennifer. She drove 1,000 miles, battled traffic, including you Wisconsin drivers sitting in the passing lane and going slow, kept me fed, fueled, and sane. If anyone deserves a medal for this big blue loop, it's her. And I'm reminded that when couples do hard things together, the relationship blossoms, and that's special.